Greetings, KNES 415 Biomechanics for the spring 2021 semester. I'm going to go through, just want to make sure we're all on the same page going into your exam 3. And I'll do, at the end, I'm going to do a little micro lecture that I think may help some of you. Okay, I hope. So I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be encouraging. I want you guys to know, once yet again, I'm always available to clarify. I had 2 students reach out to me yesterday with clarification questions. And the reason I do that is because when you're studying, hopefully when you're studying and you have a question, I want to clarify it right away. I don't want to wait. I want to clarify it while it's on your mind, okay? So if I'm available, heck, even if I'm not available, I'll make myself available. I'll go out of my way to try to make time. To clarify, in addition, I'm here every morning in case you need, every morning. So text me and let's make sure that we can meet up. Social distancing, of course. So your exam 3 material, everything is on Moodle, as I want to remind you. So exam 3 is this coming Wednesday, March 24th, 8:30 a.m. Your final exam, your last exam. It's not cumulative, but it's your final exam for the semester. It's another way to think about it. That is posted on Moodle as well. I have a tab for it, Friday, May 7th. Friday, May 7th. So you should, so if you ask me, Dr. Campbell, when's our final exam? I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm going to be saying, hey, check Moodle, okay? Check Moodle. And one of the reasons I do that, I've said it before, because I teach 2 sections and they flippy flop sometimes. One's on Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, and I have dyslexia and I don't want to say the wrong thing. I never want to tell a student your final is at the wrong time. So I'm always going to tell you to look it up so that way you can confirm when the final is. Don't trust me. I get dates mixed up. So let's do the little micro lecture, guys. So wait, first of all, obviously your content, muscles of the upper extremity, wrist, elbow, radial ulnar joint. We do some practice, shoulder, scapula, okay. All right, let me get to my little micro lecture today. I made this epiphany the other day that action is in the contraction. And this little silly analogy that I'm using is to help differentiate, again, especially for my athletic training majors who have already may have been introduced to the term action, okay? So I came up with this to try to differentiate what we're talking about. I have no problem with the word action if it has another component, and that's contraction. The action is part of contraction. So I have a muscle here called the brachialis, right? It's on your test. And what does the brachialis do regardless of the motion? What does it do all the time? At rest, while it's working concentrically, while it's working eccentrically, while it's working isometrically, when someone passes away, there is something that it does all the time. And most of you know the answer to that. It pulls in a certain direction of motion all the time. That's what we term function. It doesn't change. It pulls that way all the time. And in the case of the brachialis, it pulls in the direction of elbow flexion. It pulls that way. So we call it an elbow flexor, not because it's going to always flex the elbow. How vain, how egotistic to say that it's always going to shorten while trying to shorten. That's like saying a team is going to always win when they play. No, they're going to try to win when they play. They're going to always compete, but they're not always going to have that same outcome. So look at what I did for action, because action depends on contraction. The action of the brachialis. Elbow flexion, if working concentrically. See the difference? Some textbooks will just have elbow flexion. Brachialis, its action is elbow flexion. Yeah, when it's working concentrically. Or think about it this way. You can have elbow flexion and not be using that muscle at all. I'm going to turn off all the muscles in my elbow. Gravity just flexed my elbow. So to link a muscle to a motion is bad, 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 bad. And most textbooks do that. It's bad. So the action depends on the contraction. You could say the action of the brachialis is elbow flexion if you insert more to the story through concentric contraction. Its action flexes the elbow through concentrics, meaning that muscle is responsible for that motion when it's working concentrically. Another action could be the brachialis, its action could be elbow extension when working eccentrically. Action depends on contraction. And then, of course, you can have prevention. I could have that muscle working and not have any motion at all. How do you explain that one, textbook? We explain it real simple, that the brachialis's function is pulling in the direction of elbow flexion. But when it's working isometrically, it's going to prevent motion. Okay? So the cool thing, and what again I'm trying to hit home here, is that regardless of the contraction, that still pulls in that direction. The elevator still pulls up. Whether you bring the elevator up, keep it from falling down, or let it go down. Its function, its job is to pull the box up. Its action changes. Action going up, going down. Next stop, the action changes through the contraction. That help? I hope it does. Hit me up if you have any questions. Exam Wednesday the 24th. Today's the 22nd. Be well.